This episode is in collaboration with Running Bloom. Running Bloom was created from a love of running and colour. Inspired by the founder's daughter, Flora, the brand is all about encouraging people to get outside, enjoy the journey, and discover what they're capable of, one step at a time. Whether you're chasing a PB or heading out for your very first mile, Running Bloom believes that every run counts. The brand will soon be launching a range of running caps, technical t-shirts, vests and running socks. You can find Running Bloom on Instagram, @RunningBloom, where you'll find launch updates, exclusive discounts and giveaways. And remember to run free, bloom strong.
Welcome to episode 143 of the Local Runners podcast by runners for runners. We are your hosts. I'm Katie Kay.
I'm Callum Parkinson.
And I'm Dave Norman. So make sure you get signed up to local races and support local clubs. It's now less than a week to the Black Knight Charge on the 22nd of July, organised in conjunction with the Local Runners podcast and East Cheshire Harriers. It's a multi-terrain race on a 6-mile course, and there's also a junior race which is 2 miles. The ages for this are between 10 years old on the 31st of August this year and a maximum age of 15 years on the 22nd of July this year. And we're pleased to announce that we have Track Brewery, who are based in Manchester. They're sponsoring the race by providing this year's prizes, which will be cans of pale ale called Cutting It Fine. So make sure you join in and get involved.
Emma Smith has asked us to give a shout out to Gabby Atkinson. So she came over to Emma at the start of Hell on the Fell and said hello, and that she saw a Local Runners podcast vest and wanted to say that she's a big fan of the pod. First time doing the tour, and she came 6th female, so well done to Gabby. And then she won our pod competition for a free place at the Millbrook Monster, where she came 2nd lady. Emma said they all just pieced together, and it'd be lovely to give her a shout out because she was such a nice lady. So we love that, don't we, when people recognise us and come and say hello.
Yeah, so race reviews are brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. So the team have been using Precision Fuel and Hydration for fueling long runs and recovery. So we posted on socials about going down to Bournemouth. So myself, Sean, Katie and our ambassador Claire came along, and we had a sweat sodium test and a sweat rate test. So the sweat sodium test is where you find out the salt content within your sweat, and that ties in with the electrolytes that Precision Fuel offer, which is 500, 1000 and 1500 strength. Then the sweat rate test is where you get weighed before you go into the sweat chamber, into the heat chamber, and then you run for an hour at 38 to 40 degrees heat with 38% humidity. I absolutely despised it. And it tells you how much weight you lose. So 1 kilogram is 1 litre, and that's how much sweat you'd lost. So I'd lost 2 kilograms, so I'd lost 2 litres, and this suggested that it's that times 1.5 to get the fuel back into your body, so like 3 litres of water, which is quite a lot. So it opened my eyes quite a bit. We were treated like athletes. Yeah, treated like elite athletes while we were there. So we turned up and we met with Dr. Lindsay Hunt, who we had an episode with. We went through what the tests would involve, and then myself and Katie went into the heat chamber. We started running on the treadmill, and what they do is they set you up to a heart rate monitor that you have to wear, and it's a core temperature monitor as well. And then if your heart rate goes too high, they'll slow the treadmill down. I was near enough walking at the end because I was exhausted, and the core temperature as well. So we've posted on our socials about the information that we got given by Precision, and it was really good.
Callum found out he's just an average kind of guy.
I'm just an
everything came back average.
Just below average, it said. Yeah. But Sean really took into, well, we know how much Sean loves data, and he has sent us a voice note, so we're just going to play you the voice note from what Sean said, if I can get the mic to work.
Experience really with the Precision Fuel and Hydration sweat test and sweat rate test. I actually like a bit of a sceptic with stuff like this, really, because I did say in our chat that the outcome's obviously going to be that we need to take more precision fuel and hydration electrolytes. But actually, I was proven wrong on that, really. I think as soon as I arrived and saw the setup there, I thought, wow, this is like
My phone's gone and stopped.
pretty elite stuff, really. And when we were there, we had Louise Small was there, who's an elite athlete, went to the Commonwealth Games, doing her final heat session before she flies off to Fontramont. So it was nice to feel like you're in quite an elite setup, really. Sort of the team really looked after us from arrival. Excellent coffee on arrival, I have to say. That was good. And just the range of products that they had and the whole setup with the heat chamber and everything was really good to see. It was a really hot weekend as well when we were travelling down, which just helped with it all, I think. But I think the first thing I did was sat down and got prepped for a sweat test. So the sweat test is actually static. So you sit down in a chair and it puts a very small microcurrent into you, which promotes sweat, and then from that what they do is take a sodium reading and basically give you a range from low to high, which helps you understand how much sodium you need to take. One thing I did learn as well, actually, is that tattoos can damage your sweat glands, which is obviously a bit late now, isn't it?
Full of them.
So we were trying to find like a spot on my arm which wasn't that heavily tattooed, so we found one, and it just showed really that actually I'm a low sodium sweater, really. So I think the advice to me was I pretty much don't need to take that much. I can just rely on what I'm getting in through my diet, and potentially just take one electrolyte the night before a race or a warmer day race, but generally getting enough sodium through my diet, which I guess as Western athletes or a Western diet, you're going to get that anyway through your general consumption. Which is interesting because I did notice that I was getting a little bit of water retention, and that can be caused by high sodium. So I have purposely reduced the amount of electrolytes I'm taking and the amount of sodium I'm taking over the last few weeks. I felt okay, not had any negative effects, so it's good to get that confirmation, really, that I'm doing the right thing. So that was good. And then next thing, as I'm doing that, I can see Callum and Katie in the chamber going through their heat session, and it was like, it looked tough, and it was tough. As soon as I walked in there, it's like 40 degrees. I think it was 39.8 or something when I was in there. It's pretty hot, very humid as well. And you're basically jogging on a treadmill for an hour. Very easy. It felt easy, to be honest. The effort level was very low. But over the course of the test, your heart rate does drift. So it drifts really from where you typically see it on an easy run. Probably get into like a steady effort. So for me, I was probably up to about 140s heart rate, maybe low 150s possibly, but that's still it's higher than you expect to see it for the given pace. So I think the average pace was I was like 10-minute mile, and at the end of the test I think it slowed it quite down to try and control it. So it's a very controlled test. You've got someone in the chamber with you monitoring you all the way through, and they're also monitoring your core body temperature as well. So obviously you don't want that to get too high because that can be quite dangerous. So the whole thing was very tightly regulated, and your effort level was tightly regulated as well, and it was good. I enjoyed treadmill running, so it wasn't a chore for me at all. I enjoyed the experience. I lost over a kilo, so I think it was about 1.3 kilos I lost across the test, and given I only weigh about 58 to 59 kilo, that's quite a lot. I actually have quite a low sweat rate compared to the average population, so that's probably why I cope, actually, even though I look like I won't cope. I cope okay in the heat. It doesn't really affect my performance too much. My size helped as well. He did say smaller people. He called me an athlete, actually. Smaller athletes tend to cope okay in the heat. It's just a physiology thing, really. It's just not all, but it just certainly helps. So yeah, overall really good weekend. Enjoyed my time at Precision Fuel and Hydration. We did send them a message to thank them for the time. The amount of time they invest into on these is a lot, and I definitely think if you're serious about making those small gains for your running, why not do it? It's well worth looking into, because your GI issues are a problem in the longer distances in particular. So if you're taking too much or not enough, I think that's really important to get a grip of. And you might find that you're actually taking too much sodium, which can be problematic as well, because everyone's advised to smash the electrolytes, aren't they? It's not always the right thing to do. I think they are important, but it's also important that you're taking the right amount, whether that's too much or not enough. It's a brilliant weekend, topped off with a really nice night out with the team, and Claire joined us as well, so we had a nice pizza and a few beers. That's where we switched off from elite athlete mode and went into having possibly a few too many beers actually on the Friday night before smacking out Poole Parkrun on the Saturday morning, which was a bit of a war of attrition, to be honest, with a bit of an headache. But highly recommend Poole Parkrun if you've not been down that neck of the woods, and it's a cracking event, really flat, good field as well, so you've got lots of company regardless of what pace you're doing. I think there was 900 runners or something on the morning, so yeah, cracking weekend. And anyone wants to get in touch about Precision, just get in touch with the team or message me directly. Happy to have a chat. Nice one, thank you.
That was a good overview there from Sean. Really.
Yeah.
I forgot that we did Poole Parkrun with a slight hangover.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, what did you think?
It was interesting though, because I've always said I'm a really sweaty runner, and obviously with my cramp, everyone always thinks it must be because I'm dehydrated and I must lose a lot of salt, but actually I'm not very salty, am I? Mine comes back that I'm low sodium. So, but I do sweat. My sweat rate is twice as much as the average female athlete. So I do sweat a lot, but my sweat isn't very salty. So we did say if I was looking at like a 3-hour marathon, I would need to take 2 litres of water, but not a lot of sodium in that. So I've been taking the 1500 electrolytes.
Yeah.
And he said based on my salt level, that is way too much. I only need to take the 500s. Yeah. So as long as I get enough water in me and a low level of electrolytes, that should be all right, which is good because it proves really that isn't this whole theory that it must be like lack of electrolytes that's causing cramp. It mustn't be that.
Yeah.
So that was good because it's always been in the back of my mind that maybe it is that. But he did say that it's not a bad thing being a heavy sweater, because you always think that means you're not fit, but he said that means that you're efficient. It's your body's cooling system, didn't it? Yeah. Just proves that I shouldn't live in this country. Should live somewhere nice and warm. Yeah, but yeah, it was fascinating, wasn't it? It was good.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Recommend.
Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions or wants any feedback on it, please just get in touch with us.
Yeah.
And if you're ordering anything from Precision Fuel, use code LRP26 for 15% off. They do look at this regularly just to make sure that their investment towards the podcast is good, so please use that as much as you can.
Yeah, and we did, just to say, they've got some of these new chews have come out, aren't they, in an amazing flavour, watermelon.
Very.
And they're so good.
Very good.
Yeah. So if anyone's not keen on gels and wants to try something different, would highly recommend those gels. And the chews, sorry, the watermelon flavour is definitely recommended.
Yeah.
Although I do like the mint and lemon as well.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
any of them.
well. Yeah,
any of them for me. So on to race review. So the Millbrook Monster took place on Tuesday the 30th of June. So the Millbrook Monster is quite a demanding multi-terrain 10k race in Stalybridge. Organised by Crazy Legs and Hyde Village Striders, the course takes on a gruelling but rewarding scenic loop through Stalybridge Country Park and onto the rugged moors of Stalybridge. With Crazy Legs helping to organise the race this year with Hyde Village Striders, they gave us a place to give away where Gabby won, which we spoke about before. And Crazy Legs donated that. So if you do want to contact Crazy Legs for all your timing and race organising needs, they are amazing. So the men's results: Ryan Warland of Salford won in 37.52. Andy Woodhead of unattached in 39.56, and a common name at the moment on our race reviews, Oliver Walker of East Cheshire, storming home third in 40.16. So the women's results: Lucy Wazinski of Glossopdale Harriers 44.43, Gabby Atkinson, who won the place, she came second in 48.36, and Laura Cowsell of Stockport Harriers in 49.21. It was a local race, so there were too many shout-outs really to mention, but well done everyone to running on a hot night, and great to see the Millbrook Monster on again.
The second race in the Sale Sizzler series took place on a fairly hot Friday the 3rd of July. Popular 5k race around Wythenshawe Park, and the men's results were as follows. So Richard Allen from Leeds City Athletic Club was first in 14.27. Second home was Jack Martin of Hallamshire Harriers Sheffield in 14.41, and taking third was Bryn Lawrence of Salford Harriers in 14.58. Moving on to the women's results, it was a double win for Leeds City, with Sarah Potter taking first place in 16.47. And her clubmate Georgia Malaya took second place in 17.02, and previous podcast guest Claire McMurdoch was third in 17.55, representing Salford Metropolitan. I've got a few vet shout-outs from the race, so here's the male category vet winners on the evening. The first vet 40 was Patrick Martin, who's actually currently unattached, former Stockport Harrier. His time was 15.13. The first V45, just a second behind him, John Gilbert of Kent AC, 15.14. So very impressive time there. Vet 50 was David Mayer of Stockport Harriers in 18.18. Vet 55 was Danny Bennett of Rochdale Harriers in 17.07. The V60 winner was Mark Wollstonecroft of Bolton United Harriers in 17.47. V65, Dave Ainsworth of Altrincham, 20.41. V70, Barry Greaves of Royton Roadrunners in 21.20. V75, George Williams, 24.21. And yes, I'm keeping going. V85,
Wow.
Keith Robson of Manchester Triathlon Club in 35.51. So well done to all those male vet category winners. And then we move on now to the female veteran category winners. So another previous podcast guest, Amy Boyers, was the first V40 Chorlton runner in 18.35. Liz Renaudot of Vale Royal, 18.39 was the first V45. We had Nikki Walker, the first V50 in 20.33. Another previous guest, Sarah Brown, Stockport, was the first V55 in 21.48. Her clubmate Kerry Wood Doyle was the first V60 in 21.45. We had Jackie Cordingley of Sale Harriers, 22.30, first V65. Sue Exon of Trafford was the first V70 in 29.18. And finally, V80, we had June Allingen of Royton Roadrunners in 42.33. So well done to all those category winners there.
Is that June who did the London Marathon?
Yeah, she's so good.
Go on,
You're
Kat.
going to read her out as well now.
Am I?
On the next one.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Oh yeah, this is yours. So next up, a popular trail event and the 19th edition of Royton Trail Race, which took place on the 8th of July. So this year's race had 259 runners crossing the line, and it was fantastic to see 75 of those representing the host club Royton Roadrunners. It's really this really is a race that gets behind the clubs, and the club gets behind, and it creates a brilliant atmosphere from start to finish. This has always been one on the calendar that I've wanted to do, but never ended up
brilliant.
doing.
You've done it,
Such
you
a good
do.
race.
So
I've done it.
good.
I love this race.
Yeah, I do.
So it starts and finishes at Royton Cricket Club before heading towards the trails of Tandalil, and just over 6 miles in total, and definitely is not one for the faint-hearted. And there's plenty of climbing, especially on the opening couple of Ks, and then before the route rewards you with some fast downhill sections, but you don't have to stay switched on, as the uneven trails can get quite... You do have to stay switched on, as the uneven trails can get quite technical underfoot, and there were a few minor casualties on the night, apparently. It was an incredibly warm evening, so thank you to the volunteers who were waiting at the finish with a hose pipe to cool runners down, and I think it was appreciated by everyone.
Someone said to me, "Gosh, you are a sweaty runner." I said, "I've just been got by the hose pipe. I'm not that sweaty." It's wet through.
So the women's race was won by Rebecca Jackson of Wilmslow Running Club in 44.50, followed by a teammate, Frances Kenny, in 47.09, while K2K of East Cheshire Harriers rounded up the podium in 47.16. A few local shout-outs from the category winners. So Owen Holdaway from Royton Roadrunners, first under 20 in 43.03. James Speedy, what a name,
I know,
of
it's a great
Wilmslow
name.
Running Club, first vet 40, 43.10. Michael Fleming of Royton Roadrunners, first vet 45, 42.17. James Henderson of Royton, first vet 50, 40.55 and fourth overall. Tim Shanker of Manchester YMCA Harriers, first vet 55, 43.48. Ian Dale of Rochdale Harriers, first vet 60, 57.17. Mark Heaney of Royton Roadrunners, first vet 65, 57.03. Barry Greaves of Royton Roadrunners, first vet 70, 54.13. Andy Watts of Wilmslow, first vet 75, 56.32. John Hall from Middleton Harriers, first vet 80. I've not read out the men's results yet. I've just missed that.
Yeah.
And so I will do that in a second. The women's category winners: Ava Cooper of Royton Roadrunners, first under 20, 1:02.24.
No, Oldham and Royton.
Oldham and
You'd be in
Royton.
trouble.
Sorry. Mia Derbyshire, first vet 35, 55.43. Jennifer Harvey of Steel City Striders, vet 40, 53.48. Diane Bygrave of Wilmslow Running Club, vet 50, 51.14. Debbie Sheen of Middleton, vet 55, 59.48. Janine Ransom, vet 60. Jeannie Ransom, vet 60, 57.43. Rose Rawson, vet 65, 1:12.38. Fiona Bolton of Middleton Harriers it was a vet 70, 1:07.40. And then a huge congratulations to June Allingham of Royton Roadrunners, the first vet 80 home in 1:47.06. An incredible achievement and a brilliant reminder that running really is a sport for all ages.
Brilliant that, Dave, isn't it? Doing that course at 80 years old. I mean, it's a tough course, that, isn't it?
Very,
She's
very
amazing.
tough. Yeah, and just a note on Michael Manning's in his first place there.
I've not said
Oh,
that he's
you
won
did?
yet.
No, we didn't get. He missed him.
Right, so
We need to go
Callum.
back. Yeah, I know.
ignore
Go
what he
back.
said.
Go back.
So for the men, it was Michael Manning's taking a victory for Salford Harriers in a superb 36.50, which I think Dave was going to say the day after racing
won, yeah, and
Rochdale
won.
10k.
Rochdale.
So he won the Rochdale 10k on the Tuesday,
Yeah.
and then he won the Royton Trail Race on the
Amazing.
Wednesday.
I wonder if he did a tempo on Thursday.
Yeah, very impressive.
And he was out in front as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Back
So
to back wins.
second was Rob James of Royton Roadrunners in 38.28. So just what's that, 100 seconds behind.
Big.
Yeah.
And then Rob Clark of Salford Harriers completing the men's podium in 40.43.
Yeah.
Bit all over the place there from me, but
Well, we got there. So then, obviously, one of the highlights of the local running calendar took place on Friday the 10th of July, the 10th edition of the Altrincham Bay Mile, held at Altrincham Athletics Track. Brilliantly organised, as always, by Dan Martell and the team at Altrincham Runners. So if you've never heard of a Bay Mile before, the concept is really simple, but far tougher than it sounds. So runners start by drinking a bottle of beer before setting off on a lap of the track. At the end of each lap, they stop, down another beer, head off again, repeating the process until they've completed 4 laps of the track, 4 beers and 1 very memorable mile in many cases. Alongside that is the ever popular Prosecco Mile, where runners are each paired with their own sommelier who pours a flute of Prosecco before each lap. So 4 glasses, 4 laps and plenty of determination later, a winner is crowned. So traditionally, most of the men take on the Bay Mile, while many of the women opt for the Prosecco Mile, but there are always some incredibly impressive women who take on the Bay Mile. This year's event was blessed with glorious sunshine, so it was last year as well. It's great when the sunshine is really good. It's like a festival, isn't it? Yeah. I think it was the biggest turnout yet, with 4 Bay Mile races, 2 Prosecco Mile races, and a brilliant kids fruit shoot race. Plus there's a barbecue, so loads of food, music and just a great atmosphere. So as is tradition, once the racing was over, everyone headed to a local pub where the celebrations and the inevitable drinking games and other shenanigans carried on well into the evening. Dan did announce on the night that this would be the final Altrincham Bay Mile under his stewardship. So on behalf of local running and beer and Prosecco drinking community, we'd like to say a huge thank you to Dan and everyone who's helped make the event such a success over the last 10 years. But don't lose hope just yet. Watch this space, because we're hearing that there could be some exciting news about the future of the event. And hopefully the Beer Mile will live on under new organisers. So keep listening to the podcast and following our social media channels, and we'll bring any updates as soon as we have them. In terms of results, taking the overall win was Andy Norman of Altrincham in an incredible 5 minutes 43 seconds. So I think that means Andy still retains the course record at that event.
5:32 is his record.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But so I guess it's not been beaten though, has it? So he still holds on to that. Yeah. Second place was John Humphreys of Vale Royal in 5:57, and Matt Cripton of Swinton rounding out the podium in third with 5:59. A few other race winners, to give a quick mention: Tim Harvey won race 3 in 6:26, Jake Proctor took victory in race 2, and Dan Cork was the race 1 winner. Huge congratulations as well to Laura Riches of Lee Harriers, who was the first female Beer Mile winner, crossing the line in a fantastic 8 minutes 1 second. Georgia Fazakli, who was second in 8:19, and Kirsty Reid, who was third in 8:28.
Really strong podium this year, that.
It was brilliant. They were all sick, though. I don't know about Kirsty, but it was funny. Laura and Georgia were really sick.
I think Kirsty might have been as well.
Was she?
I think so, yeah.
It was funny. But anyway, Georgia's mum made me laugh because she was watching her, and she went, "What happened then?" And she would just stick it like into the bottle and then just like threw it. She said, "Oh, I'm so proud of her." Funny. Okay, moving on to Prosecco Mile. So taking the win this year as a new contender to the event was Laura Barber of Sale Harriers in 6:38. Second place was me, reigning champion, 6:42.
Close.
Yeah. And Laura was drinking no Prosecco, so I'm not having it. You can't win the Prosecco Mile drinking no Prosecco. But anyway, Dan said we're in 2026, so I need to let it go. And Beatrice Cordinley, also Sale Harriers, finished third in 7:14. But it was really good. It was a good, fun event. Quick mention as well to Alexandra Johnson, who was the race 1 Prosecco winner in 8 minutes 15. A few special awards were handed out too. So the Beer Mile Wooden Spoon went to Barry Hall of Batch Runners, while the Prosecco Mile Wooden Spoon was awarded to Laura Kelly Collis of Hard Yards. And then there was the infamous Chunder Chalice, which no one ever wants to take home.
Laura Riches really wanted to take it.
She really did, yeah. She really did. But commiserations to Arthur Raffle of Altrincham, who was this year's unfortunate recipient.
It was tremendous.
Was he the one who, at the finish?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that did deserve, yeah. And finally, the Beer Mile Relay, where 25 teams took part. Taking the win were Dan's Angels in a brilliant time of 4:48, with John Humphreys bringing them home in the final leg. Second place went to the Lads and Laura's team, 5:03, Andy Norman running the anchor leg. Third place, it was Sip Happens, finishing in 5:24 with Mark Harrison on the final leg.
Great name.
So congratulations to everyone who took part. Another brilliant event of racing and plenty of entertainment. It was fab.
Well, it was brilliant.
So in our last episode, the sponsor was Run Northwest, and there was a competition for a £100 voucher. And the competition was to get the closest time for Sean's Wilmslow 10K, which was at the weekend. You can be a second under, but you can't be a second over. So with the issues at Wilmslow 10K about it being short, we used the adjusted times that were released today on Monday, the 13th of July. So the winner was Jasmine Duffy, or Jasmine Latham, now, who guessed 35:13, and she was bang on the money for Sean's time. So well done, Jazz. We'll get that over to you. We're not going to do a race review for Wilmslow, just with the issues that went on. We think that's probably best left there.
Okay, let's now move on to training and racing updates. So yeah, I've continued to build up. The mileage hasn't really moved on that much, so I'm up to about 25 miles a week now. So it's moved on a little bit, but still just following what Duncan's advising in terms of increasing load. So I'm doing 2 days on, 1 day off, and my longest run now is 10k. So yeah, it has kicked on a little bit, but still being incredibly cautious with the build up. One feature of the last 4 weeks, Duncan gave me the go ahead to start once a week, just doing a slightly quicker run at Parkrun. So I came through a run with my friends at Stretford 4 weeks ago, where we ran together at Stretford Parkrun. Time that day was 20 minutes 10, and he said just go back there and just run it as a quicker run every week without sort of putting too much strain on your body. Don't take any chances. So yeah, I've been going back there every week. So I went from 2010 to 1905, and then I went to 1820, and then I went back there on Saturday, secretly hoping to squeeze under 18. But as I keep saying to people, it's not about the times at the moment. It's more about being able to handle more load each week. So I was secretly hoping to get under 18, because that would have been a nice progression of 2019, 18, 17. But it was incredibly hot on Saturday morning, as you know. So I did come home with another improvement, but not quite the sub 18. It was 18:06. So yeah, I'm not sure whether I'll go back again this week, because that will be 5 weeks in a row. I may or I may not. I've never done 4 weeks of parkrun in a row before, and I've just hit 4. That's been a good feature of the last couple of weeks. And I'm not doing any sort of structured training sessions yet, because probably I'm not really doing enough mileage to allow that to happen. But I did on Duncan's go ahead just do a little bit of a light fartlek on Wednesday as well, where I just ran a little bit quicker for short periods of time. So probably running around that parkrun pace of around about 5:40, 5:50 miling, but I might do a minute here and then go again and do another minute, and then I might go again and do 30 seconds. So nothing too structured, just trying to get the legs moving again, because we both figure that that's the way that I'm going to teach my body to handle load again, rather than going all guns blazing. I need to have another catch up with him really, and see what the next stage in the build up is, because I'd like to continue to build up the mileage a bit more, and continue to build up the length of that longest run. Continue to work in the gym with James, who joined us on the last episode. So James has been absolutely brilliant in terms of managing my strength program and helping manage my return to running. So I'm in with the gym with James every single week for a supervised session, and that's going really well. We're progressing the load on there every week. So there's one machine which we've spent quite a bit of time on, where it's been a lot of double leg exercises. We've now progressed to single leg exercises, because we're trying to just progress things a little bit every time. So reduce the amount of weight on those, but now moved on to single leg.
Have you ever done anything like that in the past, where you've done this much strength work?
Never.
And you're finding that it is really...
It's definitely responding. Yeah. And James is saying to me he's seeing big improvements every time, just across the board, whether it's strength, whether it's ankle stability, whether it's range of movement in some of the exercise we're doing. So
yeah, that's really good.
He's saying everything I'm doing is heading in the right direction, and it's all going to help with the return to running.
Gold star for Dave.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Casey, you're next.
I haven't got much to say really. My running's been a bit random. It always is at this time of year, because I just do all those like midweek things, and then obviously we had the trip to Precision. So we did Poole Parkrun, didn't we? But as we said, we had a few. I mean, we didn't go mad, did we? Nothing like this weekend, but we had a few. So then we went to Poole Parkrun, and there were so many runners, weren't there? And they asked you to start. So they say quicker runners at the front, and then if you think you're 20 to 25, start further back. So we started there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, of course, as you always get, they definitely weren't 20 to 25 minute runners, were they? We couldn't get going at all. So I kind of just thought, I've started too far back, so I'll just jog. But actually then once I got going, I felt all right. And thought, I'll put a bit of a shift in. So the first time ever, I think I did a negative split. I don't think I've ever done a negative split before. And finished just over 20 minutes. Was quite happy with that. A woman told me I was first female, didn't she? But I wasn't. I was second. I was only 7 seconds behind her, but I should have been faster on that course though, because for me, I mean, if I was going all out, I would have expected to run, I reckon, about a minute quicker. I think it's as quick as Alexandra Park, that course.
It's got a good reputation, Poole
it?
Parkrun, for fast times.
I think it's quicker.
I think it could be quicker. It's got no sharp turns or anything, has it? It's just, before you know it, you're finishing.
Yeah, because when we went to Precision, Lindsay said Poole Parkrun around here, everyone just raves about it. It doesn't look like it'll be a fast parkrun,
but it definitely is. Yeah.
And we all said we'd love to do that one when we're really, really good.
Yeah, definitely.
We are really good anyway, but
no, but if you went into it fresh, and you could definitely get a good time on there.
Yeah.
But yes, I did that, and then did obviously Royton Trail midweek. Finished third. Did not as fast as I've done it in previous years, but felt like I gave it my all. Was quite happy with that. And then obviously Prosecco Mile on Friday, which I've not really done anything since. It wiped me out.
Did you put on your Strava? I felt like a slob, so I went
felt
out
like a
for
right
run.
slob, yeah, because I'd done nothing all weekend. It just like, it always happens. It just takes it out. Man, Saturday, I don't even know what I did my time. The day just went. So yeah, yesterday I slobbed around again by tea time. Well, actually I didn't. I went to East Cheshire yesterday, which should say thanks to Mike Holness, because he put on an event just for people to have a practice at like different field events. So I did a bit of javelin and a bit of shot put and 800 metres, long jump, which long jump's really hard. It's hard to jump like that as an adult, isn't it? I think like as a kid you just throw yourself, but it's quite scary getting to the end of that board and having to fling yourself into the sand. But so I wasn't very good at most of them, but I won discus. So I might be the next East Cheshire discus thrower. So did that and then did a little run last night. Been out this morning. So just doing whatever at this time of year, which is what I always do. Mostly 10k on Sunday. Nice. So yeah, I'll do that, and then I think that's all I've got booked now. But yeah, so just plodding along really. But suits me at this time of year.
So for me, I've been building the mileage up, so my Strava graph looks amazing. It looks awesome. But I've done sets of 800s the week that we went down to Bournemouth. Did Poole Parkrun, did that in 1929. But like Katie said, set off a little bit too far back. We were only going to give it a little bit of an effort going round, and then I started to pick it up a little bit. But yeah, I think I had a little bit more in the tank there, but I did have a slight hangover. And then I've been building up my Sunday runs as well. So I did 10 miles the other week, and then I did 12, then 13, I think 13 this week. And then I've been doing a little bit of weight training as well. I've been getting out really early as well, so I've been getting out just before 6 o'clock, with it being really hot. I don't like running in the heat. But yeah, not really got anything booked. I was on for Wilmslow, but with it being hot and I just don't feel like I'm not running very well. And in the last episode I mentioned that my iron levels were really high, which is actually a lie from what the doctors or the nurse has actually said. So there's two types of counts for your iron. There's your ferritin iron level, which is how much iron you've got in the bank, and then there's the iron levels that's floating around your body. And the iron level floating around my body was really, really high, but the ferritin levels were really low, so I think it was about a 26, which Sean's mentioned was at 25 when they started having supplements. So on the 6-hour drive down to Bournemouth, what better way to pass the time than to talk about my iron levels. So for this week, last week and this week, I've had spinach with near enough every meal. I've been having spinach with eggs, so I've really upped the intake. And then I've got the supplements that Sean's been having. He sent me a link to them, so I got them today, so I'm going to start having them a little bit more. Well, I'm going to start having them, but apparently they can give you stomach issues, and anyone that knows me doesn't want me to have more stomach issues. So yeah, just going to try and slowly build up for that. I've got races kind of booked in, but I'm not really going for anything at the moment. I literally just want to try and get fitter. But after the marathon, I think I've said this last time I did Manchester, I found that, or after I did London, I found that it took so long to actually get back into training.
Yeah.
And then I think I've put on just over half a stone, and I'm really struggling to lose that. And I do feel the difference in the way that my runs are. So my heart rate does
You
seem
back on
to
the biscuits?
Only 1 or 2 a day, Dave. We've not been buying them in the house. They're banned at the moment.
Just a sneaky one when Laura's not looking at the shop.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd rather go back to having chocolate, to be fair. But I think it's the drinking of the beer. I think with the World Cup being on, as soon as the games
The
are on,
sun's out and it's hard this time of year.
Yeah, and we've got a gas barbie now, so it's like every time it's warm, right, we'll put the barbecue on and we'll just have the chicken and burgers there, and the calories soon add up. But I've just been trying to watch what I'm eating and just trying to be a little bit more healthy, but it is a bit of a struggle. I'm finding it anyway. And that's about it. That's it for this episode. In our next episode and next interview, we'll be speaking to a member of Vale Royal Athletics Club. He'll be the first member of the club to feature as one of our guests. He has PBs of 5k of 13:52, 10k 29:17, half marathon 65:28, and the marathon 2:13:41. We'll be speaking to Chris Perry.